Hello, lovely sim racers. I'm Konstantinos, and tonight we're back with some new stuff. This is Lovely Sim Racing, and we do focus on racing as much as we can, but mostly, and most importantly, we're talking about the lovely pit wall tonight. So if you want to learn more about the lovely pit wall, stick around. I will be doing just a quick, maybe 10-minute intro into the lovely pit wall and where it is at now, today, and then I'm going to go in and jump into a race where you can actually see it in action as well. I decided to make this video more focused on the pit wall because there have been a lot of questions on what it is, what it's not, and so forth. So I just want to focus just a bit on that. So first and foremost, if this is the first time you're visiting this channel, you have no idea what this is all about, I have created the lovely dashboard and the lovely dashboard ecosystem. So it's a set of SimHub dashboards where you can just use them either on a DDU, as an overlay, on your stream, anywhere you want. And this information, up until now, was just about you getting information on your own vehicle. So you're driving, you're looking at your gears and other drivers around you, but basically that was it. It's just information about that. About 6 months, maybe even more than 6 months ago, there was a conversation about like how can we create something that's more useful for third-party people. Like you're driving and you have a mechanic or a strategist or someone that's next to you and wants to see more information, more feature-rich and data-rich information that it's not necessarily useful to the driver while he's driving because it's too overwhelming maybe. And that's how the lovely pit wall, the idea of the lovely pit wall came to. And that's what it is. It is a pit wall, basically. It is a single screen so far that has an immense amount of data. And as of a couple of days ago, there was another conversation in this. That's why I say Discord is probably my treasure chest. There are conversations in there that just spark all of these ideas. What has happened is, I think it was Matt in my Discord mentioned that, oh, look at this diagram, look at this graphic, you know, the graph, and this shows you where you are on track, and it shows you where you will basically, it estimates when you're going to get out of the pit if you'd ever do a pit or stop and go or whatever. And at first I was like, you can't do that, not in SimHub. It's not doable. But then I actually went and tried to do it because that's what I do. So at first, tried to do it. It didn't actually work out. So I had to manually do a circular diagram for every single car. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I'm just getting into a few details because I want you to understand like how this is being developed. So I started working on these things and it didn't work out. And I'm like, it can't be done because SimHub cannot do it. At which point, I just fire up a message to Nicolas from SimHub and I say, dude, this would be awesome. Next day, Nicolas comes back and says, done. It was a great idea. Let's do this. And he basically gave me, well, he released a beta with it. And that essential change to SimHub allowed me to create the new pit wall. At least this new visualization, which I'm going to show tonight. Members of my Discord and the lovely members will also get access to this. Members of the Discord have already seen this, but I just wanted to create a video about it. So let's go take a look at the pit wall. So the pit wall in itself, I just created this screen so you guys can see it a bit better. So the pit wall in itself, it's just a really big dashboard on SimHub. Let me run a replay. I'll just put something in that I had from the Nürburgring. All right, so this is what you would see during qualifying. The screen has a tremendous amount of information that is relevant to qualifying right now. So the leaderboard on the left shows you the entire grid. It has the first top 3 fixed, and the rest, I think they're like 15 cars, I think. They actually change position. If you're in that group, it basically keeps you in the center of that. So if you're all the way down, it shows you all the way down. If you're all the way in 4th, it shows you in 4th. But if you're somewhere in the middle, it will crop the first and the last bit, so you're always in the center. So it's kind of intelligent in the way that it shows you the information. So you can always see the top 3, and then you see the rest that are relative to you, around you. And as you can see, there's a lot of information. So for qualifying, you obviously have pit info, which maybe not so useful for qualifying, but we do have it there just so you know if someone's on new tires or fresh tires. You have the lap, how many laps they've actually done. The gap is the most interesting thing here. So you can see what your gap is to the leader, so you know how much you're off of pace. And obviously you have your best lap and your last lap, and then you also have your last sectors. Everything you see here might change. This is still a work in progress. Now, of course, you have all of the other telemetry of your vehicle. And as you can see, you have your lap times, your sector times, you have cars ahead and behind relatives to them. You have all your vehicle settings and fuel. And obviously you have a track map and a little track bar, so you know exactly where you are in the track as you progress. And obviously you have throttle, brake, and gears. And I also tried to create a graph where you have the information relative to each other. So you have gear and RPM and speed and gear and throttle and steering wheel. So you actually know if you're doing something wrong, if you're going on a throttle too early or not. And then you have your tires and lap tire average and all that. So this is something, part of this information also exists in the Love It dashboard. What I developed a couple of days ago, and I'm super excited about it, is what happens when you're in a race. So let me switch over. So this is what you would see in qualifying. Let me just fast forward it really quick so you can see what something further down in a race would look like. So you can actually see P1 is 0, and I was at, I can't even see, it's so small right now in the preview screen that I'm looking at. So I was like 0.89 off of the pace. Fine, okay. And this is all good, and pretty much you've seen this before. Now what happens when you're in a race? Let's go over to the race. You can see already that on the left-hand side, I'm removing the big map and the track bar, progress bar, and it's being replaced by this circular diagram. Now, this circular diagram has a lot of information regarding the track. It actually has a track map in it. And basically all around the track, it's just a circular representation of the percentage of where you are on track. What's important here is I've mapped out the turns, and I've only done this for Nürburgring and Barcelona, so I need to do that manually for all tracks, but it maps out where the turn is. So 1 through 16, this is for the Nürburgring, so you know exactly where you are. As you can see, you're approaching the turn, you're in turn 1 and turn 2 and so forth. Now, what also is happening here, there's a red, yellow, and blue line. These lines, these are currently experimental, so this isn't really representing something right now, but it's there for you guys to understand. So every track has an average pit time, an average stop and go 30, or a drive-through. So we have that time. So I guess for the Nürburgring, it was like, I don't know, I tried something out, and I was like at 77 seconds, I think. So 1 minute 13 for a pit stop. So drive into the pit lane, stop for 30 seconds, drive out, and exit the pit lane. So that in total was 113 seconds. Might be wrong, doesn't really matter. That was a number there. I take that number, I convert that to a percentage, I see how much of the lap that percentage is, and I create that graph. So now, as you can see, this is the beginning of the race, obviously, but I know that as I'm in P5, if someone is within that red area, if I stop for a pit stop right now, I will come at the exit. I'll be at the tail end of that red line. This is not scientific. This does not take into account turns and which part of the track is faster or slower. This is a rough estimate, but it really looks cool too, though. But beyond looking cool, it does provide some basic information. So what would happen, like if I were to go into the pits now for a drive-through, where would I come out? Most likely the blue line describes the drive-through, so I would probably be at the far end, exiting all the way behind the grid. This is really useful for longer races and, you know, things that you actually need. And that should be good. All right, 9:44, 9 minutes and 42 seconds, we'll have a race. And that pretty much is the brand new pit wall. Now, the pit wall, how do you get the pit wall? A lot have been asking, where do I find the pit wall? Everything I've created so far has been given out for free. There's an optional subscription, or, buy me a coffee, t-shirts. Well, I'm looking for a lot of support here. This takes a lot of time. This takes hours to actually build. So the pit wall is a completely different product than everything else. So while everything else is handed out for free and you don't need to commit to anything, the pit wall is basically only for lovely members. There has been a lot of debate on why or how, or if I needed to know why I would do this, like what is the value? The pit wall is more of a niche product. Okay, everyone can use it. Obviously, it's going to be useful for a lot of people. It looks damn awesome. I mean, the information, you can't get that anywhere else, at least not the way it's presented. Not because it's beautiful or whatever like that. It's just that there's so much information here, and I've not found all of this information in a single dashboard, at least presented in this way as well. So not everyone will need it, but also the pit wall needs a lot of development time. So I decided to make it only for lovely members. So if you want to try it out, if you want to download it, you can become a lovely member. I've kept the actual membership really low. So it's at €3 per month. It's basically a coffee. And you get access to the private Discord where I actually share these files. For now, it's a beta. So I'm just sharing the file directly in my Discord. It's more rough. It's not, polished, everything. The fair warning right now, as of now, the pit wall is ACC specific. It will work on all sims. Everything will work, but it won't be tailored to the experience of all the other sims. The pit wall will be made tailored to all the sims that the rest of the Lovely Dashboard support as well. But right now, it is in heavy development, so I'm tailoring it for ACC because that's what my daily sim is for myself. So I'm also going to set up all the tracks for ACC, and then slowly, possibly through the help of the community as well, I'll add tracks for iRacing and every other sim that's available, and I'll try and create tools that'll make it easier for everyone to contribute this information back to the Lovely Dashboard. It doesn't have a website yet; it's nothing official yet, but you can get it if you're a Lovely member. Also, being a Lovely member gives you access to the private support channel and the community of Lovely members. So yeah, and you're also supporting this work as well.